made music history in this region, becoming the first ever recording out of Singapore in South Asia to be released by the American music label Verve Records. It's no mean feat. This, after all, the very same label that signed on many jazz greats, legends like Count Basie, Billie Holiday, and Ella Fitzgerald. The history-making album, Jazz Blues Brothers, is the baby of two accomplished musicians who just happened to be with us this morning, as if by chance. We welcome Singapore's Jeremy Montero and Italy's Alberto Marsico. Congratulations to both of you. It's quite a feat, your album getting released on the Verve label. Let's start off with you, Jeremy. Tell us, what does that mean to you?
Oh, it's a great, I've done like 30 over records. And, after recording this record with Alberto, I felt that this one really had a chance to go all the way. And I'm so very proud of it.
And Jeremy, you're a pianist. Alberto, you're an organist. How do you guys complement each other when you're...
Well, piano and organ are really two instruments that they are perfect when they are played together. If you think about gospel music, it's always piano and organ. So we both, and they are similar because they are black and white keys, but the sound are different but very complementary.
Well, because you were quite influenced by gospel music. I understand there's a song in particular inspired by a visit to an African Baptist church. Is that correct?
Yeah, that's a journey.
Yeah, that's something that I wrote. Yeah. I visited my musician friends dragged me to church one day at the Black Baptist
Dragged
church.
you?
Yeah, a big church goer. So anyway,
I'm sure we have that. Maybe we can hear a little bit.
Yeah, great. Yeah, and the Black Baptist church called Mount Olive in Black Baptist church in Washington D.C. Doing music.
Are you gonna play that? Play that a little bit. Maybe we'll try to. There we go.
Tell us, how did this collaboration come about in the first place?
Well, I met Jeremy when I first came to Singapore in 2002, and then we met again at the Ronnie Scott's in London. We jammed, and Jeremy got the brilliant idea.
But you're billing this as East meets West. Is it really
I didn't know there was a difference between East and Jazz.
I didn't know either. I mean,
but actually, we are both Latins, right?
Yeah, I mean, descendants from a Latin, me with a Portuguese, Spanish surname.
Yeah.
But basically we did a jazz summit tour with 3 different great organists, Alberto, Tony Monaco, and myself. And then Alberto said, we have to record. He kept saying, you have to record. And I'm really glad we did, because it really turned out quite well.
Well, let's hear some more of these songs. Let's play track 2, Lou. Can we hear a little bit of that? What's the story behind this one?
Well, this is a tune that I wrote for a great singer called Lou Rawls. He's very popular in the States. If you ask to any singer who Lou Rawls was, they will do like that. So I was very sad when he died, because his record with Les McCann influenced me a lot in my way of playing it, in my way of conceiving what is jazz and what is blues, which are very much linked. And that's why the record is called Jazz Blues Brothers, because these are two musical genres which are not too much separated. Yeah, they are linked.
And with Lou Rawls being a singer, were you tempted to have like a vocal on the track?
Should we? Well, in the next one.
No, we're going to do a live shows like we're doing the shows now. Yeah, here in Singapore this weekend we have a guest singer.
Okay.
And that's, I think, pretty important. We're doing the 2 shows at the Star Performing Arts Center, and we have Rani Singh coming to sing with us.
Very nice. Well, let's listen to another one, the Monk in the Mountain.
Yeah.
Let's hear a snippet of that.
Bob, the wife's name, Monk in the Mountain, has like some Asian?
Well, actually, I went up to there's this monk in the mountains, an American guy who gave up everything, he gave up his riches, and he actually became a Buddhist monk.
Where was this?
In Khao Forest near Bangkok, in Thailand.
Okay.
And you know, I love his teachings because they're just common sense rather than religious. And I went up to listen to his teachings, and he also wrote a book called Monk in the Mountain. And that's really the inspiration for the tune, which I wrote with Eugene Pao, a great guitarist in Hong Kong.
So just from these snippets, you know, Baptist church, Monk in the Mountain, a bit of a religious tone.
I'm more spiritual. I'm not religious at all. I think I'm more spiritual, so I enjoy, you know, things good.
Do you find that that's an inspiration for your music?
Yeah, sometimes, yes.
Because also Hammond organ is very much related to gospel music, and this is what I usually do. I also play a lot of gospel music, so yeah, there's the spiritual thing.
Yeah,
that's right.
So do you have any challenges like working together and collaborating? Like, you know, sometimes I think musicians, perhaps ego might come into play. Any of that?
Yeah, he's a very big ego. No, he's the sweetest guy.
And he stares at your hand like,
you know, really wonderful to work with. I mean, you know, from the album cover, you can see that we just like love laughing. We love food. We have our love for food and traveling, and we have same sort of musical foundation, same heroes, and so you know, it's really easy for us to get together and play on stage. There's a great recording engineer who heard our record and said, "Wow, you guys sound like, you know, you've been rehearsing for hundreds of hours when we didn't rehearse that much." Because it's natural, very natural, very natural.
Not what you're supposed to be telling the aspiring artists. But now that you know, Steve has given you inspiration for a new album, you know, perhaps with some vocals involved as well, what are your actual plans moving ahead then?
Well, the plans
we have the Asian tour.
Well, yeah, after we do the concert here in Singapore this Friday and Saturday, we move on to Kuala Lumpur, and then we go to Shanghai, and then from Shanghai we go to Hong Kong to Bangkok.
Have you played these different markets on your own or together at all, or is it the first time
I
you'll be
only
debuting?
played with him last 1 year ago.
Shanghai, first time for him. I played for the first time in Shanghai about, 1995. 1996.
Oh, it's been a while.
Yeah, you've both been in the industry for a long time. How are you seeing sort of the acceptance of sort of jazz and blues music sort of evolve?
Yeah, and also the different cities as well, you know, how do they compare?
Fans must be different everywhere.
Yeah. Well, no, I think it's great in China now, the resurgence. I mean, because jazz, Shanghai was the cradle of jazz in the 1920s for Asia. And then the resurgence in the last 10 years has been amazing. So, and I think it's really, you know, you have to try and make sure that it's a strong melody. And then if you kind of play all those things.
Yeah, that works all over the world.
Yeah.
I mean, melody is what...
A lot of jazz doesn't have any melody now, and that really kind of turns people off, because we all like to hear melody, harmony, and rhythm, right? Whatever our music is.
Yeah.
Going back to the basics, now it's a truly universal language, so do you find that you can, all of it can be translated in all the places that you go? People can resonate with it?
Yes, I think so.
Yeah.
Do you notice like some tracks though will have like will speak to people a bit more than others, depending on where you are?
Of this album, you mean?
Yes.
Well, maybe. I think Mount Olive and Lou are the most speaking tracks.
And Alberto has a tune called Jackpot as well on the album that he wrote actually for the legendary organist Jack McDuff, who
recorded it. I had the honor to have him recording it, because I was with him on a tour, and he had to go to the studio to make a new album, and he was looking for some tracks, and I just had this dedicated to him, and he said, "Okay, let's record it." So that's it.
Wonderful. Thank you so much for coming in, guys, and speaking with us this morning as musicians. Jeremy Montero and Alberto Marsico speaking with us about their new album, Jazz and Blues Brothers. This is what it looks like, in case you're wondering. It was released last weekend by Verve Records, the American jazz label that carries several jazz legends in its catalog, including Oscar Peterson, Ella Fitzgerald, and Billie Holiday. And Jeremy and Alberto will be performing tunes from their album in Singapore this Friday and Saturday at the Star Performing Arts Centre. Details are on your screen right now. And after that, they're off on an Asian tour. We mentioned it, they'll be performing in Kuala Lumpur, Shanghai, Hong Kong, and Bangkok. So if you're watching around the region, you can catch them there. So we've run out of time here today. Thanks for joining us. We'll have all your news, views, and interviews again tomorrow. It's a Wednesday, so we'll have